A first down throw for Winston. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. On 2nd and 11 now. Winston, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Working out of the gun, Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Let's go. Let's go. At their own 17-yard line.
Come on, set. 60 or.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On the set. 51. Hey, dude.
Here's Jones to throw on 3rd down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school, he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. On the ground, this is Kamara. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Jameis to throw it. And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side. Because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
On first down, Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Ready, ready. 18 Gator.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 18 yards, first down Niners. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
X3. 218. Chop. Ready, ready.
Now it's Breida. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And they will run it with Michel. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. Michel. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Sony Michel with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much.
And Kamara has it stripped. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. A lot of times we talk about being opportunistic as a defense as a whole. Right now it's becoming just one guy on this defense.
And he is doing such a fantastic job because everyone emphasizes taking the ball away, going after the football. But some people just have a special knack for it. He forced 2 fumbles last week, and there he forces another one in this game.
They run with Breida, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
61, matchbox lights.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Ready? 90 Wolf. 54, line 54. Pilot 64, weak. Hey, Haywood. Yo, faster.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jones, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey. Get it.
Now Jones. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this. You have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's what you're looking for.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Ready?
Blue right there, 54 Mike. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Check the backer, check the backer.
Check.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And finally marked down at the 23. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid him, picking up a 1st down.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Back and go full strength. Flip it.
Right there.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13. A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Remember, as they try to run the ball down here, Charles, this is the number 2 rush defense in the league.
So do you accept the challenge up front? Do you get your offensive line together, get your tight end in the ball game and say, I don't care that they're number 2.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
it's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time? Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Jones operating from the gun. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Winston. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 3rd down, Winston. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Meanwhile, checking in on what's going on in Baltimore. And the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now a give coming right is Breida. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. The Niners on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll run with Michel, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jones. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Returnable now for Allen. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Winston. This will be caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. To throw is Winston. And Winston lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play. And maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
X3, 218, chop. Snap.
Running out of the gun here, Breida. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards. And you need a big play? Go to your big play guy.
Listen, that's football 101. When you have to have it, you expect that guy to step up. A lot of people call these receivers divas. Sometimes just leadership when they get in the huddle and say, get me the ball. I'm about to make a big play.
On 1st down, here's Breida. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Breida. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. And this one is right through. And they take the lead here by a point, 10-9. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now Jameis on 2nd down. Able to complete this one to McLeod. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Jameis now on 1st down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. On 2nd down, it's Clayton, and taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. From the red zone now, Winston throwing the out route incomplete. It's Gray, and able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that...
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara, his 6th touchdown of the season. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. Now here's Winston as his guys will line up and go for the 2-point conversion.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54 Mike.
Here's Winston. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They run again with Breida. Still on his feet. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
1st down, San Francisco.
Go.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Michel. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. Now on 2nd and 13. Jones. They'll set up a screen for Breida. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still ended up with a solid game.
What we got? Hey, Orbit. 51 to Mike, boy. 51.
Here we go.
Go, Mike 51. Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. Shoot.
Now Jones on 3rd down. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. A 10th carry for Kamara. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Winston now. And he whips that one incomplete there. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Eric Armstead able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Let's go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. This is Breida. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking that time for Dante Pettis, and that'll make it 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
Here's Michael Palardy now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
54 Mike, 54.
From the 24, Winston. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gray. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
A gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 4.
The Saints on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Winston. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Winston now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Toss play, Kamara. He's got daylight. 20. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big play there out of Kamara. 43 yards.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
Check 31, check 31.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now defensively they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. 2
minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones, that one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. On the delay, here's Breida. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line.
Recon, 132 fighter. Hey, check. Hey, exit.
Jones now to throw on 3rd down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 38-yard line.
So this one a victory here for New Orleans, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Saints, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
bag, that's a big number. Big numbers. Big numbers. Home team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is Jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be the best though. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Yeah. Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is Jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be the best though. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more.
Come on.